Bro, welcome back to the show. Another awful night, really, footballing wise for Liverpool. You didn't lose, but talk to me about that performance. How you feeling?
I mean, before you added me, you said time for the Don. When it was time for the Don last summer, they didn't want to listen. They blocked me. They called me negative for views. They wanted to fight me. I warned them what was about to happen this season. No one wanted to listen. We're crap. It's just as simple as that. We're shit. We change the players. We change the way we play. Whatever it is, we are shit. The only way you solve this problem is by buying players or getting rid of the manager. There is no other solution. There is no third solution. There is no fourth solution. The club that I'm playing against is the exact reason why I don't want Klopp sacked, because they got rid of the elite manager and now we see where they're at. My problem with the whole Klopp situation is as follows, and I'm going to answer your question because I know you're going to ask me about him. Very simply, there's two things. Number one, I don't trust ownership to employ the right guy if they sack Klopp. Meaning, if they sack Klopp, they're not going to get Enrique, they're not going to get Zidane, they're not going to get Ancelotti, they're not going to get upper tier elite level coaches. They're going to go get Amarim or blah, 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 who's going to need another 2-3 year process, who won't command the respect of the dressing room, and it's just back to the shits again. Number two, do I trust the ownership to give said manager, if they get him correct, the money? Also, no. So I'm in a situation where I'm going to stick with Klopp, and I need him to be ruthless this summer. Now, for me, this is a failure of a club as a collective. I've always kept the same energy. The players hold blame, the manager holds blame, the assistant, the ownership. This is not simply a one guy's fault, two guys' fault, etc. I remember on the start of the season when you brought me on and you kept asking me questions about Trent and, this player, that player. And I told you, Terry, if I'm speaking to a different guy, they'd ask me about a different guy. Like if I'm speaking to someone who maybe has a little bit of a dislike for Van Dijk more, he'd ask me about him. If I'm speaking to someone who has a dislike for Salah more, he'd ask me about him. And the truth is, all the world-class players have let us down. And today, you see with Henderson and the Alisson situation, Alisson is basically publicly saying no one respects you anymore. That's why Trent told him to piss off. That's why Van Dijk fought with him in the scene. Alisson fought with him. There's glaring problem in this midfield, and that's Henderson. Henderson is shouting at Alisson. Alisson is the reason why we're not 16th. Henderson is one of the main reasons why we're 9th. You're shouting at him? Today, I've counted 7 times in which the ball was in a dangerous position and Henderson failed to make the right pass or the shot or whatever it is. This is no longer an agenda. This is a glaring problem with this team. Once again, the good performance today, Ibrahim Konate I thought was good. Gomez was good as the right back. Alisson good once again. Probably in the first 12 minutes, he saved like 3-4 chances. In midfield, I thought Fabinho was okay. Not like world-class Fabinho level, but he was okay. Like he was good. Curtis Jones had a good first half, surprisingly. Second half, he just went to the shits. Just typical Curtis Jones crap. And the front three, this is where I question Klopp. The substitutions. The substitutions for me were illogical because, number one, you don't bring off Firmino or Nunez. Those two were significantly better than Jota today. Jota should have been the guy that came off today. I thought the subs should have been made a little bit earlier. And if we go back to the starting 11, I had a problem because, once again, I'm out of the FA Cup. I'm out of the Carabao Cup. I'm out of the Champions League. I've got nothing else. This is it. What am I resting for exactly? And to all the people that are saying he's resting for Arsenal, guys, this was the more winnable game. Chelsea are shit and they're 11th. And they lost to Aston Villa and Southampton and multiple different teams. This was the winnable game today. Sunday is not the winnable game. Sunday is a difficult game because now I've got to worry about Jesus and I've got to worry about Trossard and I've got to worry about Saka and their midfield overrunning our midfield and their defense stopping our attack. So I've got a whole load of shit to worry about when it comes to Arsenal. But when it comes to Chelsea today, you see why they're 11th. We should have taken advantage of that. But once again, if I was honest, the more likely team to score was actually Chelsea. They were more likely to score than us. And that for me is the most embarrassing thing above all. And here we are yet again, Terry. Are you going to make the top 4? No, we're not. Are we in a top 4 race? No, we're not. And now all I ask of Liverpool Football Club is one simple thing. If you're going to be crap, please just be crap all the way. Finish 9th. I don't want to finish 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. I don't need Europa League. And I damn sure don't need no Conference League. Get me 9th, and let's play a game a week next season, and let's take it from there.
Do you know what? It's why your banter the other day towards Man United. Like, you heard me in the space. I was more annoyed at Man United fans for falling for it than what you said, because you man are in the mud. We ain't perfect, but you would swap places with us this season in terms of where we are, what we've won. And United fans have got to learn to grow a backbone and some thicker skin. But on the Jurgen Klopp stuff, this is where I get your point. And there was a comment that came in from Josh who said, "Who would Sam want to replace Klopp?" So you don't think there's adequate replacement out there? If you could have any manager to come in now, barring Pep, who would you break the bank, buy his contract out? Who's good enough to replace Klopp, in your opinion?
I don't even want to break the bank. There's two people who are available right now in Zidane and Enrique. I think they probably, they could change the our fortunes right now. But once again, Terry, there's 10 games left to the end of the season. Would you take the risk now, or would you wait till the summer? Personally, I'm not Klopp out. I'm not. I'm just gonna give him this summer and next season. I'm not gonna be Klopping forever. The credit in the bank has been cashed in, my guy. He's cashed it in this year. But for me now, I'm just waiting. This summer, I need to see ruthlessness. And next season, there is no excuse. I don't give a fuck what it is. We have to win the Premier League or win the Champions League. Simple as that. Because you don't have a spine of 4, 5, 6 world-class players, and you don't do it this way.
You're not going to be in the Champions League next year.
Yeah, but you get my point. If somehow we end up there, win the Prem then. Win the Prem. Win the Prem. We have to win the Prem. If we play one game a week, Terry, we have to win the Prem. We have.
Well, this is the thing. My issue with Klopp, and people think I hate him. I don't. People think, oh, you're just desperate for him to leave Liverpool. There's partly that, but I truly believe that there's just a disconnect between him and these players. And I get the point. I think the Milners and the Hendersons have got to go. You bring a Luis Enrique in. I actually have a feeling that Salah scored lots of goals but hasn't been at his best. I think you see Fabinho and I think you see Van Dijk, Trent. I think you see him get back to their levels. Doing what Fergie did, where you stay at a place 2.5 decades, is crazy. Staying at a place 7 or 8 years, even in the old days of the 60s and 70s, was considered long term. It's very hard to keep a team at the highest level as long as Jurgen Klopp has been there. And I'm not saying that because I'm hating on Liverpool. I'm just looking back through the history of our game. In the UK, that's a normal pattern. Once you start getting towards your 7th and 8th years, it's hard. You almost look at Wenger. Wenger probably should have walked away from Arsenal in about 2007, 2008, 2009. That's just when he started to just lose his ability to be one of the favourites. He was still a very good manager, but that's when they should have gone, right, let's go and get a world-class man. They should have gone after a Pep Guardiola after he left Barcelona. They should have gone for a Jurgen Klopp because they were ahead of City and Liverpool at those times. And that's what you guys have just got to be mindful of, that you don't stick with Klopp for another year or two, and then 2 or 3 world-class managers end up at rivals. Because the problem is, you guys did it to Man United with Klopp. Once Klopp or Pep joins City or Liverpool, he'll never be a Man United manager. So depending on who Enrique joins or Zidane joins, depending on how good Nagelsmann turns out to be, as an example, you may not rate him. You may miss the opportunity to ever see that manager come to your club. And there was a few City fans that have said this, that they were eyeing up Ten Hag as Pep's longer term replacement. That's not going to happen now. So if he ends up being a brilliant signing, I'm not saying that they wish they got rid of Pep. But say Pep don't win anything this year, doesn't win anything next year, and leaves, they'll probably think, I should have cashed out a year earlier. Hindsight's lucrative, but it's going to be an interesting one, mate. And
this is why I'm just saying next year, by the way. Just next year. I'm not saying keep him 2, 3 years. Just 1 year. That's it.
Yeah, I hear you. Sunday, how are you feeling about playing Arsenal with how good they are, your form? Because for you, this was a game that you always guaranteed 3 points in. How do you feel, and how do you believe it's going to go on Sunday?
This Liverpool team is so unpredictable. Could we turn up against Arsenal and get something? Probably. But I think my thing is with Arsenal is they just have too many threats. You're talking about Trent this, Trent that. Robertson's been just as crap. Saka could send him to the shops easily. You've got the Trossard problem. You've got the Martinelli problem. You've got the Jesus problem. Their midfield's going to outrun our midfield. So I have no idea. Unless the players, for some godly reason, feel so motivated to turn up against Arsenal. For some reason. Whatever the reason it is, some reason, something happens, and the sky rains, and it's miracles, and they want to turn up, then maybe we can turn up. But if I'm being real, I think we probably lose that game, to be honest with you. And Arsenal are going to run us over, specifically in midfield. In that Arsenal game, there's one message, though, that will be sent that's a lot more important than what could happen in that game.
Is there another plane flying over? Another plane that you guys have sorted out? Well, we'll keep our eyes out for that and we'll promote it because you know me, Liverpool or not, bad owners need to be called out 110%. And I'll
100%.
stand by that because football's important. But Sam, I know you got to shoot and I got to go elsewhere. Thanks for coming on, brother. Always appreciate it, my man.
Thank you, brother.
And we'll chat again soon. Thank